evening. This is HorseRacingNation.com handicapper Jared Horak, and welcome to my latest in a series of videos devoted to 2012 Kentucky Derby Contenders. Now, before we get down to action in this one, I'd like to take my hats off to my video editor, Stacy, for winning the Thoroughbred Times Inside Post Challenge contest. In that 16-race contest, began with the Travers, ended with the Breeders' Cup Classic. She successfully selected 10 winners, and she won the $100 cash prize for finishing first. Congratulations, Stacy. Now let's get back to the video action here. We're going to wrap up the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, and then we're also going to talk about the Delta Jackpot for a minute. That race runs this weekend. Now in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, Union Rags and Hansen, they look like the two big horses in there. Union Rags was your favorite. Hansen was undefeated going in. Hansen went out and he set the pace. He controlled the pace throughout. He was able to hold off Union Rags to win by a head. Now in that race, Union Rags wasn't running straight in the stretch. He was kind of wandering and he kind of lost focus a bit. That cost him the race. I think he would have won that if he would have just run straight to the wire, just like Hansen did. Hansen was straight and strong throughout. It was a good effort in his first dirt start. We still don't know how good he is. We're going to have to see how he handles pace pressure later on when he turns 3 next year. And he's probably going to be facing Union Rags in Florida because both of them are going to be wintering there. Also running in that race, Creative Cause. He ended up finishing 3rd, coming in from Southern California. He had a productive 2-year-old campaign, but he's done for the year now. They're not going to run him back in the Hollywood, the Cash Call Futurity in December. They decided they're going to skip that. They're going to wait and run him at Santa Anita over the winter into next spring. Now also running on Breeders' Cup Day was Secret Circle. He ran in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Sprint. In that race, he was up on top of Wicked Fractions. The pace was 20 and change. They were just flying early. He ended up putting away the other speed, and then holding off a European filly to just get the job done. That was an impressive race considering the pace. He doesn't have to be up on the pace like that. I think Bob Baffert's instructions to Rafael Bejarano that day were to get him up on the pace. He was definitely all over that fast pace. He can relax a bit off the pace. If you go back to his prior start in Southern California, he relaxed nicely, and he won that sprint start. So he's still undefeated. They may try to stretch him out in the Cash Call Futurity. I'd like to see this horse stretch out. He's obviously very fast. He's got a lot of raw ability, and he's bred to route. We'll have to see if he's going to end up being a 2-turn horse or just a very quick sprinter, kind of like his stablemate, The Factor, who was a 3-year-old this season. Other horses that ran on the Breeders' Cup card, Drill for trainer Bob Baffert, disappointed. Didn't even pick up his feet in that Breeders' Cup Juvenile. But he is going to come back, and he's going to run this weekend in the Delta Jackpot. Now, he finished 2nd in the Norfolk Stakes prior to the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, and then his start prior to that, he won the Del Mar Futurity. So he is a Grade 1 winner. He ran pretty fast and fast enough in that Norfolk Stakes where he was clearly 2nd best behind Creative Cause. To think that if he can run back to that kind of race or his Del Mar race, I think he's going to be tough to beat in that Delta Jackpot. We'll have to see which way he goes. He obviously is coming back quickly. The Breeders' Cup was just a couple weeks ago. Now, if you would like to see more about the Delta Jackpot, you can come over to HorseRacingNation.com, where handicapper Mike Schutte is going to be covering the Delta Jackpot in his video race of the week. Now, I'm going to have a new feature on my blog. I'm going to have a companion blog to this video. In that, I'm going to talk about some of the future stars, horses that just broke their maiden, maybe first time out. A horse like Consortium for trainer Kieran McLaughlin, a son of Bernardini. Now, on November 12th at Aqueduct, he looked great in his debut. He's bred to be any kind, and that's one to watch. So if you go over to pick6blog.com, you can see the companion blog to this video. Now, I'll be back in December to talk about the Contenders once again, probably after they run the Hollywood Juvenile there, the Cash Call Futurity. After they run that race, I'll probably be back with my next video, and then the videos will become more frequent next year as more prep races are run on the road to the Kentucky Derby. Now, that'll wrap up this week's video race of the week. This is HorseRacingNation.com handicapper Jared Horak. Good luck at the races.